did not record the opening. It's okay.
Good job.
I am currently recording for the podcast also. And then she's recording some. I have no idea what it's going to look and sound like, but I figured I'd try it out. Which is like the whole idea of Chasing the Whimsy is just try and have some fun and see what it looks like and what it sounds like later. Again, host Ben,
Megan, and Liam. He would be here, but he had the nerve to go into the wrestling finals nationally. I told him it would be way cooler to be here, but he disagreed.
He's 15 years old. The beauty was we started this when he was 13, and now that he's 15, he's like, I got other things to do. So I'm like, what do we do? So I carried on. He comes back and checks in with us. But he likes to say he comes in, records a couple bangers, and then just dips back out. So.
He really is the talent, guys.
Again, that's the superpower is he just comes in. Yes. Thank you. We got a little 1-minute clip from episode 100 that we had about 16 weeks ago. We're currently 116 episodes in. So here's a little sound bite that I just wanted to kind of just show you guys of what you guys can achieve in under 2 years.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ming Chen, podcaster, podcast studio owner, huge Chasing the Whimsy fan. Happy 100th episode, guys. I'm so happy for you guys. I can't wait. Chasing the Whimsy. This is Ming Chen. Happy 100th episode anniversary.
There's just the idea that me and Chad, Comic Book Men, 7 seasons. He's here at the con today. He does a podcast studio at a Shared Universe. Did a class with him. He popped on and gave us a nice little message. It seems like 2.5 minutes long, but I'm going to cut it down. But it's just kind of fun to see. I got a Mean Chen, who's also now part of Whimsy.
Oh, so I wanted to ask, what are some of your guys' favorite podcasts?
It's playing on pause.
Oh.
Specifically for women in pause and for active and athletic.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
In the back there?
That's nice.
What's it about?
As Mandy.
Oh, nice.
It's an actual play podcast where they all play as from our world thrown into the world of the experience.
That's awesome. Anyone else? Oh, all the way in the back.
John Campia, movie, TV show news.
Oh, I like that. Oh, right here.
More Than Meets the Pod, Transformers.
Nice.
For women.
Great name.
People I mostly admire. It's done by one of the guys that does Freakonomics.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And so that it's not like exalting these people, that they're real people and they've done these.
You could dig it.
One of my favorites is Tell Steve Dave. He's they're the second podcast on Kevin Smith's podcast network back in 2011. They've since branched out, but I've been following them for 15 years now. They're one of my favorite podcasts, and that's kind of some of the inspiration that we had from starting this. Any other ones?
Serial?
There you go. I haven't listened to Serial since the first season, but it was riveting. Yeah. How many of you guys are podcasters? There we go. Go ahead and shout that out. Who are you with?
Me and two of my friends run the McAdams Common.
All right.
I'm seeing a theme here.
I just like the idea that there's more than one Transformer podcast out there.
Why wouldn't there be?
It's hard to find them, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I say we need more. We had 2 more? Who else does a podcast? Yes.
I do an actual play D&D podcast called Mayhem Misfits.
Okay. Very cool. How many of you have thought about starting a podcast or would like to start a podcast? Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Just shout them out. What would your podcast be about?
It would be called Band Tips. I'm a retired music educator.
Nice. Yep.
It'd be called Tea for Teas. It's just two friends chatting about life, like past stories and things, whatever we're interested in at the moment.
Would it be the same friend every time, or like a guest friend every time?
It's us.
Oh, it's you too.
Who else?
Yeah, my podcast is called The Wrong Crowd, which was just me and my friends giving our, this is top of the podcast, what was going on, but I had a couple other ones. One was a college football podcast, and the other one was called RPOGs, which was just a bunch of gangsters in a D&D campaign.
I love it.
Couple more. We'll take them. Yes.
The recovery couple.
All right.
Based on recovery.
All right. What kind of recovery?
My qualifier at AA.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
So two guys with an AI, where it's just me interviewing somebody in a different field with an AI as the third. Kind of get just different takes on topics.
I would absolutely listen to that. I've been doing this for a year, almost 2 years, and AI has advanced like massively in the stuff that I use AI for today. If I had 2 years ago, who knows where I would be. So how many, I don't know how many, there's like 25, 30 of us in here. How many would sign in, would listen or subscribe to one of the podcasts that you guys just heard? Right? That's the beauty of it is you have an idea and it might sound different or weird, but you just got to do it. You're like, I want to talk to some AI. Let's do it, because there's some, like 9 of us in here would listen to it. Some friends talking to friends. I mean, I just talked to my son or Courtney or, whoever. It is interesting what people would listen to.
Oh, that actually is a good question. So for you who raised your hand about wanting to start a podcast, what are some reasons that you have not done so? Like, yep.
It's a lot of commitment.
Oh, truly, yeah. It feels like a lot of commitment.
My wife writing a book, and I want to launch the podcast probably when the book comes out, but I could do it before. I have all the equipment, so it's just.
So you're ready, just waiting for the book launch?
Everything already said.
What's interesting about the commitment aspect of it is, for whatever reason, I started, and I'm religious about it. Every Monday, I have to drop an episode. I haven't missed one since. But as far as like the commitment goes, every other week, maybe go a little longer, then it's a monthly podcast. So you can kind of play with that commitment a little bit. Where the beauty of podcasting is there's no rules. It's the Wild West right now. You can literally do whatever you want. I like a nice hour long, but that's completely arbitrary. You could do 15, 20 minutes, or you could record for an hour, break it up into multiple times. So the commitment for sure. But the beauty of it is you can kind of like write your own commitment. That's my favorite part about it is there's no rules. A lot of it's just the consistency is my only suggestion and opinion. Is if you are in every other week, make sure that people know that that's what you're doing. And you can kind of communicate it throughout the podcast of like, hey guys, I'm at Fan Fusion. There's no live stream this week, and Monday might be a little bit weird. So a lot of it's just about that communication and aspect of it. We do have, it's about 4.5 minutes. Another little slideshow with some sound bites of what we've done in the 1.5, 2 years that we've been doing this. And then we'll kind of break it down a little bit. A couple of quick highlights through that. We had Ming Chen, Ryan Johnson from Comic Book Man. We'll go over some of the pictures. But the beauty of it, like my son's in there. He's like, I want to tell stories. He's telling about stories about him in school. The other gentleman on there was his stepdad. So like it's amazing. It's so much fun. We're gonna go ahead and go over a little bit of like how podcasting is a superpower. First, I can't draw for nothing. So the beauty of podcasting is you find those who can, give them a platform. My friend Sarah Rose did the top ones. I wrote her scripts, and then she drew. That's that first clip you heard about me doxing Brian Johnson. And she just drew a bunch of little 3-panel comics for me. The bottom one is Kit. She's doing some whimsy doodles for me right now. You can find those on the websites and the card on the back. Her info is on the bottom too. Sarah loved to draw, but she stopped drawing. The idea that I can give her a platform and a reason or a subject to draw. She did about 20 of these things for us, and she just had a blast doing them. So find those, if you can't find those who can.
This one is us at Christmas. We did a giant podcast of Ben's family and then myself and my sister and Sophie playing some games. We've also done like Mother's Day, Father's Day podcasts, and it's probably one of the most insightful things that I've run into is talking to people about their experiences and finding out that we're all very, very different and similar in the same ways. It was sitting there with, I'm not a mom, but I was sitting there with a bunch of moms and just hearing them all say about, oh, I think this is right. I do this to discipline my kids. I do that. But the love that they all had for their kids and support was the same thing. And it brings people, it sounds corny to say it brings people together. And I thought it was a little bit hacky, but sitting there and talking to people about stuff like that, or going to TuesCon and talking to people who have similar interests to you, if you run into somebody who likes Transformers or like, you know, Lord of the Rings or whatever it is, that's the superpower, is just connection to other people. And whether you're doing D&D or anything else, you're still connecting with other people and finding shared interests and like expanding your universe. There was this, there's a couple episodes we did with my grandma. Early on, me and my son, we were talking, I'm like, I just turned 40, my grandmother just turned 80. And I'm like, oh my God, my grandmother had an entire life before me. And there's the realization of like, the lady that I've known my entire life was an entire person before me. So I had the pleasure of speaking with her for 8 hours across 6 episodes about where she grew up, where she was born, and everything else, kind of just growing up through when she was 40. So the family dynamic is kind of real powerful. I do podcasts, Whimsy with the Z. I record with 5 different teenagers throughout the month, 1 per week. And I track what it's like to be a freshman, what's it like to be a senior. We just had one, Alice, graduate this year. So it was real fun to kind of just track what is it like to be a senior, knowing that 6 months, or we're in this episode, when this podcast ends, season 1, you're officially an adult. And then just watch her panic, and how many of them are driving, how many aren't driving. My dad's side of the family, I don't talk to that much. So we have up one's family tree. We're going to start reaching out to that side of the family a little bit more and kind of understand where I come from on that side. These two in the middle, Megan. JJ, Diary of a Cool Kid. First of all, this cover art, amazing. Like, 2 lightning bolts, not enough. 3 lightning bolts, not enough. 4 lightning bolts, probably okay. JJ runs 2 podcasts. One of them is about like his book lists and what he likes to read, and the other one is a story called Yellowstone that he's been doing for a while now. And he's what is he, 10 now?
He's 10 now.
Okay. Yeah, he's 10 years old, and he records on a hand recorder, and it's not super consistent. And, you know, the story is not necessarily novel worthy yet. It needs to be polished a little bit first, but it's great seeing him grow his art. And even from Yellowstone, like episode 1 to now, things have gotten so, you should listen to it a little bit, Billy.
The story, there's something in the story. You get there. He's got the the stepping stones to make something great. The
Well, and it's
foundation.
that pure creativity that kids have.
Like 9 years old.
And then he has like a flaming sword, and where the flaming sword come from? Well, it fell out of the sky, and that's how he got it.
But he reads it as if he's storytelling it. Like he could have been in a bookstore just reading passages from it and just doing the whole. It's interesting when you give a 9-year-old an opportunity, what they can come up with. Like they will surprise you.
And it's nice seeing that he's not self-conscious, because I feel like a lot of people, when they think of doing a podcast, they think, is anyone even going to find this interesting? Is this going to be unique enough to be a podcast? Like, he just wants to create something to create it. Right. And that can be in and of itself a good thing too. And it's a good thing to remember.
When I first saw the Diary of a Cool Kid logo, I love it. But there was it was still kind of early where I'm like, we can't market this. And then I wanted to I was thinking too marketing aspect of it, and I lost the childlike wonder of he's just like, I need more lightning bolts, and he's just clip arting lightning bolts like crazy. And I look back and I'm like, this is my favorite logo. At the end of the day, there was a half a conversation trying to get him to think a little bit more outside. But absolutely the coolest. Only a 9-year-old can come up with this. To be fair, 3 different lightning bolts.
We probably didn't have to tell you his age based on the cover art, but
absolutely amazing. Next.
Okay, so this is hi baby. Hey. This is Sophie. She's on the podcast a lot in the background. And that's another thing is people think, I don't have time to podcast, or I don't have a place to podcast. Every Chasing the Whimsy episode has her in the background, or my terrible dog's toenails clicking on the floor. And we like organic podcasting, so we don't mind it or have to take it out, but you can really find time to podcast and a place to podcast anywhere. We do it on our kitchen table. But these pictures are all from Tucson. This was from the one 2 years ago, and we went last year as well. But we met Robert Kurtzman there. We walked up to his table where he was signing autographs, and just asked him if he would give us 10 minutes, and he talked for like half an hour, I think. Yeah. So it's really all about seeing opportunities and trying. I wouldn't have thought that he would want to be on the podcast of somebody he'd obviously never heard of, but he did. And it was very cool of him.
The beauty of cons like today is you're like, how do I expand my audience? Where's my audience? Go to cons, go to other things where people who like podcasts like yours would go and gather in the hundreds and the thousands. So TucsCon is a very, very small con, maybe like 300-400 people, 500 people. But we go for all 3 days. We set up a table in the courtyard and just invite people over to chat. We walk the dealer room, talk to all the different vendors. But podcasting is about creativity. It's kind of an art, and then to be surrounded with other people who have a passion for their art, and then finding the connection between the two and how you guys can relate to each other. One of the other things that we do as a superpower is Chasing the Whimsy gives back. My thing is I like the idea of building a community. I like the idea of you guys getting out doing a podcast, talking about Transformers, talking about recovery, talking about anything that you want, your bands. I love the idea that you guys can be as passionate about a subject and put yourselves out there as much as I do. One of the things that Chasing the Whimsy did last year is we donated to a Title I school, which is schools for low-income families. So we donated to help kids get presents, help alleviate some of the pressures of the families. This is just a picture of the young lady who works at the school. We did like a 45-minute interview together talking about the program. You can see some of the presents there. I think they helped about 62 kids last year. And then at the end of that episode, I committed an extra donation again for 2025. We have a Patreon also that the members, there's a gift here, so I send out gifts and you guys support. I take a portion of that and apply it to a second foundation for the holidays. So Jason the Whimsy is looking to donate approximately $1,000 this year for the holidays. One for the school, and then we'll find another charity. I'm absolutely loving podcasting. If I can get people to support us, I want to give back and kind of help support the community a little bit through, whatever means I can.
That's our merch. My twin sister, Kelly, who's maybe still at the back of the room, designs a lot of our merch. His sister, Nikki, does. His mom has designed some stuff, and his grandma. There's really been like an outpouring of people supporting us. Ben and I are not artistic people. We're creative people. We're not artistic people. But, hi, baby. We've had so many people make us shirts. Those ones are from Tuscon. We had pressed shirts. People have given us these knit gnomes has become a thing, where they send in gnomes that they made. Because gnomes are
the legs the legs aren't even, and they look a little like weird and jacked up looking, but I absolutely
don't
adore
mention
them.
that the legs are jacked up.
But
they're just fine legs, guys.
But it's the idea that a lady who Sarah Rose's mom did them, and the fact that Sarah's mom's like, "Oh, you're drawing again? I want to crochet. I want to do something." And she's like, "Just real quick, just made them." And I'm like, "These are the coolest things." I still have them. I keep them. Absolutely fun. Yeah, we have some merch.
And we have pins. There's you can see him, Pix.
Oh, Pix.
Yeah, I think Pix is on there.
Yeah, top.
Yeah. We sell the Pix, or we also give them away at cons all the time. And the idea is people take pictures with Pix places, and it's a great way to touch back with people that we saw at cons and had conversations with. You'll be like, "Oh yeah, I wonder what that person's doing now," and then suddenly you'll get a picture of them in Italy with Pix right next to them, and they remember Chasing the Whimsy, and we remember them.
Yeah, just a little wooden token. My sister absolutely hates this, but I tell her, I'm like, just take this little wooden thing, and then just when you're out, just take a picture of it. And she's like, "But it's blurry and you can see my hand." I said, "That's the beauty of it. Like that's what I'm going for, is just kind of just an awkward, blurry gnome." And she globetrotted, so I got one in front of the Coliseum. I'm like I'll never go to the Coliseum, but Pix has. So Chasing the Whimsy now has a picture, all over Europe and Greece.
And in Mexico, too.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Courtney went to Michigan and then lost it. But yeah, it's just real fun. It's a silly thing, but I just absolutely adore people sending pictures of just photobomb gnomes. In the under 2 years that we've been podcasting, we did hit the 4,000 subs on YouTube. So I convert all the podcast episodes into a video. I do all the little shorts, like the sound bits that you guys saw. And then I think it was just over a year, we hit the 4,000 subs, and then a year and a half, I hit the number of hours to get monetized. So it's not an impossible thing to do. There's some tips and tricks to do with it. A lot of it's just the consistency. There's like 450 videos right now on YouTube. Again, I do the live streams. I do the regular podcast, some shorts. But it's interesting. Come back on Sunday. We'll show you some tips and tricks to kind of help. It looks like a lot, but again, you invite people in to help you out. Sunday, I'll show you guys some tips and tricks to kind of like minimize some of the work a little bit, because I absolutely hate doing shorts.
And it's important to note that we didn't start with everything was a video. We didn't start with merch and Pix, the gnome, and we just started with a couple of recorders and recording the podcast and learning the trade and getting out the awkward first episodes, and still up for you guys to see if you want. But it's a gradual thing. You don't have to feel overwhelmed that there's a lot of stuff that seems to go into it. Really, starting a podcast, the only thing you need is right here, something to record yourself, your phone. This recorder is like
StreamYard, you can do it on your computer.
Off Amazon. You don't need a lot of stuff. We record at my kitchen table or his kitchen table.
There was a picture of my son leaning back in a chair with literally I have a coffee table, like this big dining room table sitting in the middle of my living room, just taking up all kinds of space, but that's where we record from. The beauty is just get out and just start.
Yeah, and there's no harm in starting on your phone. Just record something silly or what you think is silly. And if you don't like it or you hate it, you never have to post it. You could try again. There's no pressure to putting it out. But I think you'll find that we also find this a lot, is the silly episodes that kind of derailed or went crazy are the ones that we love to go back to time and time again. And the silliness is part of it. It's part of the point.
Right. No, that parquet clip is still my favorite thing I've ever recorded. I've never laughed like that. My mom and my grandmother were there while we recorded our second episode.
He has laughed like that. He laughs every time he sees the clip. Trust me.
So every once in a while, it's coined the parquet laugh. Like every once in a while, there's an episode where I can get a nice parquet laugh, and I just cry. It's like 3 minutes long. It hurts the sides. One of the things I found out on episode 100 is one of my goals is to chase that laugh. If I can podcast, if I can find that laugh every couple of weeks, every once in a while, like it's all worth it. 180 episodes, I find another one of those laughs. The whole journey is worth it just to have that laugh again. Many of you guys you're interested. You're all here. You're interested in podcasting, continuing to podcast, where you can take next steps. We got one more clip as we kind of wrap up. The idea of like, I don't know if I'm ready to podcast yet. There's a hero, there's a podcaster in all of you, kind of like this guy. That's one of my favorite, I had to put it in there. It's one of my favorite things. One of my favorite scenes, Miles Morales doesn't know he can be Spider-Man. He gets kicked by every other Spider-Man that comes visits him. He's tied up, he doesn't know, he's like, I can't do it. And the idea that he breaks out, he's just like, I gotta do it. Talks to Aunt May, he gets the support that he needs, he gets the tools he needs, and he's like, I don't know if I'm a podcaster, if I'm a superhero, but I'm going to try it out. Same with you guys. Is I would listen to every one of your guys' podcasts. You just have to hit record. There's a lot of people are like thinking about, and they're planning, and they're trying to create. They try too much. Just hit record and let everything else fall into place. That's everything that we've done. Started with one random podcast, and it was just keep recording. Me and my son come up with different ideas, and that's what you kind of see today. It's just you just have to get out there, hit record, try it out. Megan said a couple of times, you don't have to keep it. Or you technically don't have to put it out. But
yeah, I was terrified the first time I was on. I didn't start out on the podcast. It was just him and his son Liam. And the first time I recorded, I was like, listen, if I record this and it sounds really dumb, I'm going to make you delete it. But at the end of the day, it was a lot easier than I thought it was. And at the end of the day, it's talking.
Yeah.
And we do it all the time. We do it with our friends. And if you think about the microphone as just a piece of plastic instead of something that's recording you and will be taking you into people's headphones later, you'll find yourself just talking and giving out ideas more freely.
You guys go home tonight, you talk amongst yourselves about, we're going to record probably Sunday night, the 3-day wrap up of Fan Fusion. And we're going to record it. We're going to put it out. It's going to be like an hour 20. It's the exact same conversation you're all going to have with each other over the next 3 days. Who you saw, what you did, good enough, I'd listen to it. What did I miss that you guys did? If you guys, again, the idea of the community aspect of it, I used Ming Chen's Shared Universe. He does, he has like an online class. He'll Zoom in with you. He has a little presentation, then he'll record half an hour with you. But he'll kind of, similar to what we're going to do on Sunday, give you some tips and tricks to kind of show you a little bit of things, record with you, edit it, and send it to you. We use that as our episode 0 that we use to sell the podcast idea to his mom. Worst case, if you're not interested in the Ming Chen aspect of it, Jason the Whimsy is hoping to start like a Whimsy Studios. I'm hoping to start a podcast network. I would love to help out anybody who's interested and passionate about podcasting. You guys can go to our Patreon. There's a QR code on the back of the card. There's a sign up for the free tier. There's I got a box. I'm so old. Like I don't know what that box is. There's a chat.
I was going to say, I think he's talking about a chat, but...
Oh, man, I got there. There's a special chat in there just for... Thank you. Like, that's the best, man. Like, I'll do 100 more of these if I can get one of those every year. Sign up for the free, access to the chat, questions. If there's enough of us, we can collaborate and just hang out, interact. I'd love that for all of us to kind of just keep chatting up about what your podcast is, drop when new episodes come out. I'll help a little bit, suggestions, ideas, what microphones. There is technically there's 2 tiers on there right now. I just added tonight. I will add. There's a 4. Yes. Thank you. There's 3 openings for Friday and then 3 openings for Sunday. There's a paid tier in which I will work with you, and I'll actually produce 2 30-minute episodes every month for you with that membership. So whatever your ideas are, I'll work with you, collaborate with it, and then we'll actually schedule time and we'll Zoom in together. I'll let you guys record your episode, and I'll just produce it, upload everything for you guys. So take a look at it. The free for questions, if you actually were like, I don't have the stuff yet, or let me try it out, hit the paid tier for it. Again, right now there's 3 for Friday and 3 for Sunday, so I'll open those up tonight. If you guys are interested, you can DM me in the Patreon also. But sign up for at least the free. You can see a lot of the different merch that we have. We have an award show coming up in a month. Oh my gosh. Going over the last 2 years. So we try to communicate a little bit through there also. Bless you. But it's all about building that community. So you guys all come hang out with us on the Patreon. Let's share some ideas. I'd love to guest on any of you. I'll guest on any of you guys' podcasts. Just reach out, please.
Reach out to us. You'll be on Chasing the Whimsy. We love talking to people about any topic, as long as you guys are passionate, and forgive us if we don't know stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not the best, but I put this presentation together free on Canva. You've seen some of the stuff that we've been up to. So if you're looking for anything remotely close to that, I'm probably not real good on the gaming side. So any of you gamers are like, I want to be a Fortnite gamer. I'm like, I can't. Not the best on that. But jump into the chat. Does anybody else know? And then we can connect you with somebody else who's familiar with a little bit more of the online gaming aspect of things. Chasing the Whimsy podcast, anywhere you guys listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify. What else is there? I think iHeartRadio.
Yeah. Did you say YouTube yet?
Yeah, YouTube is on there. There's all of our socials.
What's Kelly always listening on that we're not on anymore?
Oh, SoundCloud?
SoundCloud.
I used to be on SoundCloud because I used to host the podcast on SoundCloud, but they wanted like $140 a year. boom, figured
Yeah.
out how to get rid of that.
We go over that on Sunday at
Yeah,
our other
Sunday.
panel. There's some things that are absolutely free for you to use to record and to host your podcast. So you're not going to be shelling out money for every little thing. There's definitely a way to do it on a budget.
And the quality is still pretty good. Like, again, a lot of the AI stuff is fantastic right now. So that is our presentation. It's 45 minutes. That's like perfect, right on time.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? Any comments? How'd I do? Yes, sir.
Your music, do you live band it, or does somebody do it for you, or?
Oh, that's
we didn't mention J Sarge.
that's the biggest superpower, man. I cannot podcast without that theme song. Even if like we're just recording somewhere, I have to play that song on my phone somewhere. Jay Sarge did he did a lot of podcast music, like 2010, 2012. He did Tell 'em Steve Dave's iconic intro. So I reached out to him and was like, I love it. Because of his theme song, me and my son connected over Tell 'em Steve Dave. I'm like, I need your intro to come from you. So I just reached out to him and he just put it together for us.
And now he's a friend of the podcast. He's on, and we're on his podcast.
Yes, he does suggested articles with his friend Jeff. But that's the beauty of it is he kind of just reached out to people. He was like, you can find services online to purchase some like royalty-free music. But I like the idea that I really wanted mine to be a Jay Sarge original. So I kind of gave him a couple of ideas and thoughts, and he kind of came up with it. He gave me a couple different versions, so I use a similar version to the my live streams. The live streams again are on Monday at noon, Wednesday nooners, and Saturday at 8 p.m. Mind Pockets. So if you guys want to check those out, they're a lot of fun.
Looks like we got a question over there.
Yes.
So you said you started with your podcast being hosted on SoundCloud. How long was your podcast like audio only? And do you feel you could have picked up that same amount of success, or do you think moving to YouTube and adding visual element was like crucial to being able to continue?
It's interesting. I listen to podcasts, but there's a lot of people like that. The video medium, shorts. So if I have the video, I can cut them up into shorts, and I can put those out onto the socials.
And the more places that you're going to podcast, and obviously being on YouTube is free, Spotify is completely free. The more places that you put it out, the more people are going to listen to you because you're spreading it wider.
I would like to do more. So most of the YouTube stuff are the audio with like a visualization aspect to it, because my son's 14, 15 at the time, 15 now. My daughter, for protection and security purposes, I try to leave images of them off of the internet as much as I can. So when we podcast together, I try to just do the audio only, but I turn it into a video format so I can at least put it up on YouTube. When he gets a little bit older, later this year or when he's 16, we'll get the okay from his mom to be like, let's do some more YouTube, because he wants to do YouTube stuff. He's like, let's do challenges and let's do all weird stuff. He wants to make a movie, and a lot of the stuff is like, we got to wait just a little bit so that way I can get the okay, before I start putting his face out all over the internet. But good question. Yeah. Anyone else?
In terms of like the amount of content you record and editing, how much time and commitment, well, not commitment question, like how much effort is there in each podcast that's not a live stream?
So, like I would say, as far as just recording the episode, we record almost exactly what's online. So if it's an hour episode, we recorded for an hour. We don't cut a lot of content and we don't edit ours a lot. There is some AI stuff that you can use to like edit down pauses, and stuff like that. But we don't put a lot of effort or time into the editing. And there's some really cool stuff out there that you can use just to do it for you.
In our infancy, I used Audacity. So we would record on something similar to this. I poured it over, hit Audacity, and I would select all adjust the levels to where I like them, put in the theme song, a couple little tricks on how to get rid of some of the background noise. For the most part, the editing, as long as I was comfortable with what we recorded, I just had to play with the levels. So editing was super, super simple, probably 10 or 15 minutes. If there were some things where we talked too much about where we lived, I had to go in there and find those and cut those out a little bit, so maybe a little bit more time. When you record with StreamYard, what's nice about that, it's all like Zoom meeting stuff. So the audio is pretty good there. So if you use Audacity, you just have to drop the levels a little bit to even them out. Right now I use Riverside, and Riverside has a crazy good AI that drops all those levels for me. I still try to go in and play with Audacity a little bit just so I can stay familiar with those things. But not that bad. Like, you'd be surprised how a little bit of practice. Obviously, the first episode I recorded sounded like garbage. Take a little bit more time. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
But yeah, it can be a small commitment, but then again, you reach out to somebody. I know Tom Steve Dave doesn't edit any of their episodes. They still send them to Declan Quinn. 15 years later, Declan still masters everything, uploads everything. So they're not super hard. If you start doing like outdoor stuff, a lot of background noise, it gets a little bit a little weirder. But if you're just sitting at a table, easy stuff to kind of work with. You guys going to start a podcast next week? Not even one?
Oh my God.
Can you fake it? 100%. Sign up for the free Patreon. Start a podcast. Keep up with it. Stay active in the community. I'd love for you guys to come back next year with me and do this panel with me next year. I'd love to be able to be, here's what we have. Let's talk about all the Transformers we can, and just talk about your guys' journey over the next year. 100%. I would totally invite you guys to come up here and hang out with me.
Real quick question on marketing aspects. What do you use to market yourself?
Oh, it is so hard. There's a chunk of it on Sunday, podcasting on a budget.
Don't get scammed, I think
Yeah.
you're talking about.
A lot of it is just consistency in posting, either the podcast and then all of the shorts. There's a couple of different websites and programs you can use that create the shorts so you can just put them out. Marketing is a little bit on the harder side. 100%, I felt the investment coming today and talking to you guys was a better investment than some of the stuff that you see online. There's a different type of value for you start a podcast, someone's going to reach out to you within like days and be like, I'll help you promote your podcast. I'll give you 10,000 views and 100,000 likes.
It's all a scam.
There's an asterisk next
It's
to
all
it.
a scam.
A lot of it's just the organic, just keeping up, posting it, posting the shorts, meeting with you guys. Like I got 30 more followers. I'm checking now.
The ads and the hashtags and the tag.
Which one?
You use the tags, ads.
Yeah. I still don't fully understand how the hashtags work, but I'll do them because that's what Courtney says I should do.
And there's tutorials and stuff online that can show you how, like, you could literally Google or on YouTube, like, how to use hashtags to grow engagement. Mm-hmm. And some, like, 15-year-old will tell you in a patronizing voice what you need to do for free.
The marketing side of things are really, really weird, and I'm still trying to figure out a whimsy way of wrangling marketing together. But it's weird. There's a lot of wasted money on some false promises, but we're getting there. The big thing is the content. Keep the content going, so when the people do find you, they have a nice little backlog. Don't get discouraged by the numbers, because like there's one video I saw. What was it? 10% of YouTubers make up 90% of all the views, which means 10% of us are fighting, 90% of us are fighting for 10%, which is like super crazy. The idea is, I should have posted that I was having a panel today. But you guys all found yourselves here. So the idea is that the content will eventually find you guys, and I'll eventually find your guys' content is kind of where we're at right now. I'm sure there are better ways, and I'm looking for better ways to find and market the thing, but that's the only discouraging thing about the whole thing. I'm not going to lie, is I hate the marketing side of it. But I do play with the hashtags. I do the socials. And then I do the cons and get out there and shake hands one-on-one with you guys if I have to.
Yeah, footwork is a lot of it. Just word of mouth, talking to people. And if, we're on Jay Sarge's podcast and they hear what we have to say, they might come to our podcast. So it kind of makes like a huge web of people who are just cross-contaminating our feed. And like, oh, I saw you on Jay Sarge's podcast. Cool. I think we have another question over there.
Yes.
Kind of to piggyback off that, one of the things that kind of caused mine to fail was like the place I was going to for analytics on my podcast would kind of give me misleading stuff as well as showing how many actual listeners I'm getting and how many actual downloads. So what do you just go straight through YouTube numbers and getting paid from that, or like what do you use for your analytics to know?
I am not good at analyzing the analytics, but I do check the analytics from Spotify and YouTube just so that way I can see what kind of traffic is being people are watching. I try not to go, me personally, right now with where I'm at with the podcast. I try not to let those numbers discourage me because they're not as big as I'd like them to be. Like the hours per week or per video aren't necessarily where I'd like them to be. But a lot of that is just, I'm just not good at the marketing because I just don't know how to market. Because you'll get people reaching out, offering promotions and stuff. Whatever SEO is, which is like the search engine optimization. No idea what any of that stuff means. But there are, in reality, that's where like a lot of the money will end up probably going is the marketing aspect of it. I'm working with a couple of people trying to understand it better, just so I know what are some of the more appropriate ways to market. But yeah, I'm not real good. I just, whatever the analytics are showing, I try to gauge based off of whatever data YouTube and SoundCloud are giving me right now. I do get people who offer to be like, I can help improve these. And I'm just like, I don't fully understand what that means. Come back on Sunday and we'll talk a little bit about that. Is just the verbiage that they use. Organic engagement, organic listeners. It's all they're not organic. It's just organic in that there's a phone farm somewhere and everybody's just refreshing and liking and then just skipping. So it's organic in that it's not a bot. It's just a bunch of like 6 guys sitting in a room just refreshing.
Like I feel I paid somebody to help market my podcast and I started seeing numbers that were showing like how many views that didn't seem to match up.
Oh, yeah.
So they just overinflated these numbers from nowhere, but I wasn't getting engaged, I wasn't getting comments.
Thank you for coming in. Absolutely, those are the scams I'm talking about. Is like they'll give you the 10,000 views, but it's one video or one podcast episode, and then everything else kind of just tanks. There's a certain value in those type of things where all those fake views are going to technically move you up into an algorithm a little bit, so you'll eventually kind of get into more people's feeds. But it's weird. I can't trust a lot of those people. Where did you hire that person?
I was hosting on Podbean. Mm-hmm. It was something that
Podbean,
the host company offered to me, and then it had its own like set of analytics in
Right.
there, but then when I go to or I'll go to like SoundCloud or anywhere else, something that had my podcast hosted on, I wouldn't see anything similar to those whatsoever, and I was like, well, why invest this extra $139 they're saying, because this is something good, and I just
Pick one of the.
getting
Yeah.
so turned off by the way.
Oh, it's a huge. I told you, it's the most discouraging thing about this whole medium is this idea that you're not marketing it correctly, but it's all a scam anyway. Take a look at the Patreon tier. I'll put your name up on the live stream. I'll promote your stuff. I'll throw up your podcast on my pre-show screen. It's not 10,000, but at least if there's 30 people watching, you know that there are 30 organic people, and they're hanging out in the chats. And like my thing is, I would pay for the marketing aspect if I knew any one of those people would talk to me, leave a comment, engage with me. But it's like, no, here's an extra 1,000 views and 100 more followers, but nobody talks to me. I would rather you guys hang out, talk to me, come on my podcast, guest on mine, I'll guest on yours. I'll promote your guys' stuff on mine, and you, me, and kind of just Best Western this thing or U-Haul this thing, where it's like we just help each other.
Yeah, so like you talked about like the superpower of like you giving someone else like a voice, like maybe that's I'm sure artwork.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just said like just now, I was wondering like how do you give a voice to someone else that listens to it? And then you decided just now like I want someone to interact with me.
Yeah.
To then like how would you promote yourself in a way so that you can allow someone to come in so that they can use their voice to expand whatever they were thinking, what you're thinking, like how do you, like, I guess that aspect of like a superpower in regards to like the podcast, not just like someone helping you, but like someone finding their voice to then communicate with your podcast. Like how do you get that engagement? Like, or like what do you say to someone that wants to speak amongst your podcast?
Right. Invite them onto the show, encourage them to do their own, offer any assistance. You have a voice, and you're just like, and it's just the constant encouragement, the same that my family and everybody else has given me to be like, they're like, we care what you're talking about, and I would do the same, similar. And that's kind of like what we're saying is this, the idea of like, if we build a community, we create a podcast studio of some kind. Now it's, I'm talking about something and be like, hey, there's another young lady who has a podcast similar to on our network. Here's what she's talking about. You guys like talking about bands? He's on here. Check out his stuff. And kind of just this idea of just everybody sharing our experiences together and individually.
Yeah, and it tends to be infectious. I mean, there's people who have been on our podcast who've been inspired to do other things. Most notably, JJ. He was on the podcast as just like a family open house thing. And then he decided to write the story Yellowstone and start Diary of a Cool Kid. And we were there to support him in that. And obviously, Ben edits for him and everything like that. But a lot of the people who come on our podcast are just people who we interacted with. And we say, talk to us. I mean, our podcast doesn't look at specific people. It's not, oh, you're in this trade or you're in this. It's everybody. So if you have a story to tell, we want to hear it. And if somebody hears your story or you feel like you want to tell more of your story, then we're always there to support people. And
if you make something, you make coasters or dolls or whatever it is, reach out. It doesn't have to be whimsy related. Thank you. I'll see you on Sunday. But if you're like, you want to support and engage with me, and you're like, I do these personalized paintings of backgrounds or whatever, landscapes. I have a Patreon tier where I'm like, I'd love to buy 10 of those so that I can, use those as for the gift tier, and I'll help support you. This month's gift is this person who made some really cool landscapes. And it doesn't have to be whimsy. It's just a gift from the whimsy universe. And if you guys want to be part of that universe and sell me your landscape photos and your crocheted whatevers, cats, and Accordion likes cats, whatever it is, just I'll thank you. We'll advertise whatever we can. Again, it's not 100,000, coasters I'm asking you guys to make. It's just starting off at like 10, 20, but if today goes as well on Sunday, or Sunday goes as well as today, I could easily start putting an order in for like 20 or 30 whatever's you make, whatever widgets that you're making. And then at the same time, you guys start a podcast. You put it in the chats. I advertise it a little bit. I come on your show. You guys got 30 views today. Start your podcast. You guys have 30 views and followers today. I just need to know who you are, where you're at. You guys all come back, visit, hit some links, and we all just start following each other. And just it's the certain community aspect of it is together we can really do some really cool things. That is 2:30.
Yeah.
I thank you guys all. I'll clean up a little bit. I don't have to be out of here for another half hour, so you guys are welcome to come up, chit chat with me for a little bit if you guys want to, if you have any questions. Huge thank you. It means a lot that you guys came out and listened to us for a little bit.
Way more people than we thought. We kind of thought we were going to be talking to an empty room or just.
I thought it was going to be Courtney, but it means a lot that you guys saw something in us. I hope you guys take something out of it. Please follow us. All of our stuff's on the back.
Please start your podcast or at least try something creative.
Okay, before we leave, at the end of all of our episodes, we end it with a whimsy. So if you guys can on 3 real quick, just yell me a nice whimsy.
Whimsy!
That's actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty cool. Like, I don't like it when my son overtakes my whimsy but that was fun. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate you.
Thank you guys.